Okay, recording this video after close of trade Monday, 23rd of May 2011. Well, there we go. Hope none of you were surprised by the activity kind of setting off on Sunday evening, kind of a waterfall decline into Monday. At the end of the day, we've traded 1.7 million contracts traded, come into a high volume churn bar. I think we're going to hold for a little bit and test back up, try for a gap fill here. We've hit all kinds of support levels on various higher time frames, higher tick frame time frames, and the activity was, fairly extreme, kind of pushing out a lot of sellers at that point. But medium term, this is a way to the races. I mean, we're going to fall into a big move down. Just question is, how far it's going to go. You can see kind of the activity in the bond market as well. Bonds kind of almost did a reversal day. They kind of headed up really strongly and kind of closed on the lows. So I think the equity market's going to head back up. As I said, this kind of a gap fill is going to be interesting. You can see on the trend line chart now, this is this island reversal that I was talking about, where we gapped up into this pattern up here. We've now gapped below with the open on Monday, kind of below this trend line, and it kind of leaves exposed this whole region here. So we'll have some kind of test back up. The question is how far. Is it going to get to 20, 25, maybe even 30? But I think at that point, a lot more people will kind of join the party and kind of take it short. So I'm just going to tag on my day trades today. It was a good day for me. 6 trades. It was worth kind of trading more frequently than I should or normally do, just because the ranges were there and the activity was there, which is good. Took out 6.25 points, most of which actually wasn't taken out on the waterfall decline. I didn't. I got in before the open and took a trade, but I didn't get in right at the open on the Sunday. So even with the fairly kind of large swings and smallish range that we had early on, there was good trading to be had. Hope your trading went well.
Just gone to short 16.25. Been waiting for a pullback signal for a while. We've had a huge sell-off. Started on Sunday evening, and this is what I'm trading off, this pullback and a downtrend signal on the 1500 tip bar chart. We've kind of come in and made exhaustion buying at this point on the 500 tip bar chart. Been waiting for a pullback. Sorry, not a pullback, a bearish divergence signal here, but don't think we're going to get one, just because we kind of looped around these two kind of resistance levels. So we're kind of breaking down. So short 16.25, and let's see where this goes. It's just gone 7 a.m. Chicago time. About half an hour later and still holding this trade, and interestingly, here's the divergence signal that I was kind of waiting for and didn't get, and kind of initially ran off in the right direction, which was kind of good. Came into 2 Rambo patterns here, so this breakout being led by the amateurs, potential reversal of an amateur breakout. Go the other way, come into a little bit of congestion here, and this is the divergence pattern. Just happened, just kind of gone off here. So back at the entry point a little bit. Good, it's kind of going in my favor again. But just sometimes waiting is the best thing to do. We have formed an end of trend on the 1500 tip bar chart, but we haven't seen kind of exhaustion selling on the downside. So I'm going to continue to hold this. My target's at 12.25, and the low of this move kind of in the pre-open has been 12, so it's kind of a logical place to put a target, but let's see, continue to hold. Market's just opened. Kind of had quite a lot of professional bars kind of coming up to the open. You kind of normally see that, but because we hadn't had exhaustion selling on the downside, didn't kind of come out, so I'm still holding this short at 16.25. Target's at 12.25. Let's see if that's the right place to get out. I mean, if we get a rush, people will try and get a bit of a gap fill on this, so don't want to be stupid at this point. But anyway, so that's what I'm doing at the moment. Just came out at 12.75. Didn't get filled on this little pop down to 12.25. So the reason for getting out there was we've had blue professional bars kind of coming on the 1500 tip bar chart. We've got a cyclical support kind of coming in here. We've had exhaustion selling and a bullish divergence pattern here on the 500. So we're going to lose a little bit, kind of run to the upside.
Not going to do anything until we get another kind of re-entry short, but anyway, so we're just out. So what is that? That was 3.5 on that trade, so just wait and see for the next entry. Most likely short, I'd have thought, but let's see. Just gone short at 15.75, and I hope I don't regret this one. Going short without blue professional bars on the 1500 tip bar chart, and not many on the 500 tip bar chart. So we've just had exhaustion buying on the 515 and bearish divergence kind of set up here. We had bearish divergence, and then we kind of flipped up to 17 with another exhaustion pattern. So that showed we're kind of exhausted on the way up, and coming into those highs was Rambo patterns being led by the amateurs, but no blue professional bars kind of appearing at the highs, which would have been nice. It's almost to kind of mirror the blue professional bars that came in on the 1500 tip bar chart. So short at 15.75. Let's see where this goes. Okay, just a minute later, we come into amateur down bars here on the 1500 tip bar chart and Rambo patterns down here on the 500 tip bar chart. We've got cyclical support here on 500 and bullish divergence. So because we're not seeing blue professional bars and expecting to test back up, and hopefully as we test back up probably into 16s, we'll get blue professional bars and we'll kind of roll over. So definitely in kind of early on this trades back to entry point and beyond, but you know, amateur up bar on 15, so just expecting this to be weak and then to be rolling over. So hopefully that's what will happen. So a minute later, and this has worked out quite nicely. Came into resistance, blue professional bar at the highs, then a Rambo pattern. So amateurs trying to buy it up here. We've kind of fallen back down. Now the professionals come back in at 14. Not seeing anything on the 1500 tip bar chart, so still kind of playing this swing down. And eventually we'll get this kind of swing on the 4500 tip bar chart. So we're not going to have to go and retest back up again in order to see more blue professional bars. Let's have to wait and see. Okay, just came out at 16 even, just for a quarter point loss. Don't particularly like what's going on at the moment. Blue professional bars kind of coming in here. We had this other blue large range professional bar kind of come in, and we broke the highs of that. Coming back to test the lows. I'm just wondering if we're going to have to go up and kind of get above 17 until this cyclical turn happens on the 4500 tip bar chart and we really see professional activity at the highs. So I'm just flat at the moment, just watching and waiting. Just gone long 16 even. And the reason for doing this, a little bit of a turnaround, is we're coming into support on the 1500 tip bar chart, and we've got bullish divergence patterns here. Last kind of time we came in with this push down, professionals kind of stepped in. Not seen any blue professional bars on the 1500 tip bar chart kind of up here. So we've just been testing around. I think we're going to break 17, go for a little bit of a run until we reach some kind of cyclical turn on 45, and the professionals kind of step back in. So actually long 16 even, so on this extraordinary down day. A couple of minutes later we've just kind of tested back down into 15, but amateur down bars kind of down here at 15, trying to get a break to the downside, and we've kind of come back up to 16. So now we've got support on the 1500 tip bar chart. It's going to come in as cyclical support. Then we're going to go for a little bit of a run above 17. So let's kind of watch and wait. Okay, now we've seen blue professional bar come in on the 1500 tip bar chart. Got target at 20, but you know, broken new highs at 18. We've got a flush signal kind of come in. We're going to get something like a flush signal here on the 1500 tip bar chart. Just got to be careful. I don't think this is going to be a huge kind of runner to the upside, although we're above resistance on the 500, so we should run into a pullback and end of trend. But how big this move is likely to go, I'm not kind of sure. But it's not good that we've done that and just reversed straight away. We've got resistance now at 18 on the 1500 tip bar chart and a flush signal here. Need to just go back and test back up at 18 and see where we go, because you know we're in a downtrend here. So just wait what to do next. Just reversed and went short at 16.75.
Reason for this is just as I was doing it, blue professional bars kind of come in, so really should be waiting to see what happens as a result of this. We break the highs or the lows kind of substantially. The reason for doing it is this flush signal. Just when we rushed to 18, we kind of flushed out all the buyers at that point, and we're kind of turning down. If we break to the highs now, it's going to be a serious uptrend because we'll have broken a resistance level on the 1500 tip bar chart. So now short at 1675. Let's see where this goes. Okay, this started to go nicely in my favour, so you can see that blue professional bar was actually profit taking because the highs never got broken. We kind of broke to the lows. We're now under support on the 500 tip bar chart. The target's at 1275, but we're now in a pullback and a downtrend on the 4500 tip bar chart. So really need to be holding this for something like pullback and end of trend signal. This time around, we bounced off 12 last time. This time around, we're going to test at 12, and it could well fail, which will mean we'll kind of go down some more. So need to be pushing out that target, I think, but a little bit early to be talking about that. See what happens next. Okay, a couple of minutes later, we've had exhaustion selling on the downside on the 1500 tip bar chart and support level coming on the 15, but no blue professional bars kind of down here. Playing around these levels doesn't particularly look like a good place for a pullback and end of trend. We'd have kind of probably gone a little bit further, but okay, here we go. First blue professional bar kind of on that rise, so most likely we're going to take out the lows of that, I would have thought, and retest. Kind of down. Still got my target at the moment at 1275, but be very happy to move that if we look like we're getting a bit of a rush to the downside. So let's see what happens next. Just a minute or two later, we tested into the mid-15s, but these are all amateur bars up here. So we did break above the high of that blue professional bar, but just came into all these amateur bars up the high here. Lows of that kind of being taken, we're kind of heading back down to test. So we've got a cyclical turn here. We're kind of against the trend a little bit on 15, which means we could easily break 15, the support at 15, and really get into a strong down move. But again, just waiting to see where the professionals kind of step back in on the 1500 tip bar chart. So still holding short. Well, it's a bit of a surprise that we've run all the way back up pretty much to the entry point. But coming into this mid-16s, we got being led by the amateurs with a Rambo up bar, and then professionals kind of stepping straight in. We've also got fairly high reading on better momentum on the 1500 tip bar chart here, coming up to a cyclical turn. So I'm willing to hold this. Just don't think it's the downtrend's over just because we're not seeing blue professional bars kind of come in. We did see kind of exhaustion selling on the downside kind of down here, but wasn't a very convincing pattern with kind of lots of professionals and bullish divergence patterns. So still holding short, taking heat on this trade. A couple of minutes later and still taking heat on this trade, but what's happened, we've had exhaustion buying on the 1500 and 500 tip bar chart. Blue professional bars finally coming on the 15, and that shows that as soon as we roll over, when we get this cyclical turn, that'll be professional profit taking and positioning to continue going down, I'd have thought. But hopefully we can roll over quickly rather than forming some kind of pullback and end trend on the 500. So it's not far from the entry point, but I don't like this taking heat on something that was so much in my favour. No, it was probably 3 points in my favour before turning around. So still holding short. Okay, now we started to break to the downside. This is more like it. So just had a little bit of a test back up to 17, but we've broken support here, cyclical support. Moving around a bit. Hopefully this means we're kind of going to break into a downtrend, so we'll see a pullback and end of trend on the 500 tip bar chart. Now we're kind of playing a little bit against this 4500 tip bar chart kind of support, but because we've not seen that exhaustion selling, blue professional bars kind of coming on the 1500 tip bar chart, still going to make lows I think today. So anyway, finding it difficult to get through 15. Okay, going to press my luck a little bit, move out the target from 1275 to 875. I know it's a hell of a stretch, but anyway, that's what I've done. We've moved into a downtrend now on the 500 tip bar chart here. And so this has got to resolve itself with a pullback and end of trend. And although we're coming up to support on the 1500 tip bar chart, no blue professional bars. The last kind of reading that we had was exhaustion buying up here at kind of 12,000, and we're down at 9. So we've still got to get that kind of exhaustion selling, and I'm hoping that'll take us past 12, where we've seen previous support, and it'll be good to push a little bit further to 8. Let's wait and see. This came out at 1650 for a quarter point, and isn't that typical? Just as I was talking about moving my profit target, this support level just held on 15. I know we've come back up almost, to the entry point. Flush signal here, bearish divergence, cyclical turn, blue professional bar. Gonna have another go down I suppose, but just not willing to sit through that after we got support on the 45, support on the 15. Just don't think it's going to break 12. Yeah, it's got this support kind of running. It's just very unusual for us not to see a blue professional bar down here to hold that. And these blue professional bars, yes, they weren't perfect. I mean, you'd expect them to see the patterns kind of on these bars. But rather than, that's twice a good profit turning into well, first time I did take heat on the trade. This time I wasn't willing to sit through it. So just going to watch it for a little while longer. What was that? That was, I think 4.5 now. 1, 2, 3, 4 trades. So could easily stop. But it's a good day's trading with this kind of high volatility and activity. So let's wait and see what steps up next. Just gone short at 1550, just moved really quickly there. But the reason for getting short, another go at this, we've had cyclical turns all kind of come around on all 3 time frames, and this last move back up into 17 being led by the amateurs here, but then everybody decided to go the other way, so not a particularly good entry, but let's hold the short. We've now had bearish divergence kind of come up on the 1500 tip bar chart, so still don't think the low is in for the day, so let's see where this goes. Well, that started to break the right waves, kind of blue professional bars kind of on this little uptick, so as soon as the lows kind of get broken, that shows the professionals are actually kind of getting short there, which is a good sign. Target's at 1150, but really tempted again to move this. So just because this last move up was all amateur buying, and 12 is a significant level, so if we push past there we'll run even further. We've not seen exhaustion selling on the downside yet, so still keep on saying that. So it's going to break 14, get into a downtrend here hopefully. Okay, had a blue professional bars kind of coming on the 15 and the 4500 tip bar chart. At the lows here at 13, you can see them there. And then we came back up to 15, they kind of stepped in again. We're breaking below the lows there. We've got a downswing happening on the 500. We're coming back to test support on 1500. We've got potentially a support coming on 45. I'm just moving my target to 850 from 1150. Just have a feeling we're going to kind of break 12, 13, 12. There'll be a rush to the downside. We've just not seen exhaustion selling on the 1500 tip bar chart, and the last couple that we've had here, bearish divergence, we're just itching for a break into a downtrend on this 1500 tip bar chart. Where initially it held, Then it's not holding at the moment. We're coming back to test it. So that's what I'm doing, hoping for that kind of elusive strong downtrend. It's out at 15 even for just a half point. So don't think that's going to work. Right to the downside, we've got cyclical support coming on the 500. Looks like with all this blue professional bars coming on the 4500, it is going to stick kind of this time. All this kind of confusion here. So it'll be interesting to see my charts at the end of the day. I would have thought we would have seen exhaustion selling on the downside before the bottom's in. So, but just this doesn't seem to want to break right now, so that's fine. What does that mean? That means 4 3/4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. That's not bad. The meat of this move was on the Sunday evening. I'll watch it for a little while longer, see if this does eventually set up to break to the downside. If it doesn't, I'm quite happy to stop there. Hope you had a good day trading. Just gone short 14.25. Let's give this one last shot. The reason for going short now, this last little push up, led by the amateurs, ending up in a Rambo pattern here at 15 on the 500 tip bar chart, amateur up bar. Cyclical turn came in, took the break of the lows. There is the entry. Still don't think the down's in because we haven't had exhaustion selling on the downside on the 1500 tip bar chart. So let's give it one more go, short at 14.25. Okay, this looks like it might travel a little bit. We've just broken into a downtrend on the 500 tip bar chart. Got exhaustion selling at the moment. Blue professional bars kind of come in. Expect this around the 12 level, which was kind of the previous low. And I'm just moving my target to 8.5, which was the target on the last trade that I ended up exiting. So let's see if we get down there, but looking for something like a pullback and end of trend on the 500 to signal the bottom of this move. So still short from 14.25. It just came out at 12.75. It's a shame that didn't really want to go. We got down just below 12. You can see we had exhaustion selling on the 1500 tip bar chart, which is what I was waiting for. Had a pro signal exit where we get professional bar and the exhaustion selling. Really didn't kind of work on my exit very well there at all. It was a pretty poor exit, but you can see here now on the 4500 tip bar, a whole series of blue professional bars kind of coming at 12. So 12 is probably going to kind of hold for a while at least. So that's me definitely done for the day. So what is that? That's another 1.5. Short of 14.25, out at 12.75, which gives 6.25 for the day. That's nice. Okay, good, done, finished. Hope you traded well.